Hey guys, so today I have swatches of the Superchic Lacquer Diamond Heist collection. There are 5 polishes in this collection. They are all textured kind of micro glitter style polishes. So the big deal about these ones is that each polish is certified to contain 1 carat weight of genuine natural diamond crystals, according to the paper in front of me. These are going to be available for purchase on February 4th. I will link the website down below where you guys can get these. They are going to be retailing for $24 each, so they're going to be a little expensive due to the diamond crystals in them, but enough said, I will get on to the swatches so you can actually see them. So the first polish is Flawless, and this is a white textured micro glitter in a clear base. This also has the 1 carat weight of diamond crystals, as well as silver shimmer and some holographic in there as well. It is a very subtle holographic. I don't know if you can see it sparkling there. I have swatched these already, so you do see the holographic more in the base as you apply it. So here is 1 coat of Flawless. This is definitely going to need a few coats to have it fully opaque. I'm going to do them on their own, fully opaque, so you can see the actual textured finish. But I have actually seen some pictures from Holly. She was playing around with layering these over other colors, and they looked really, really good with 1 coat layered over other colors as well. So that is 1 coat of Flawless. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a 2nd coat. Here is 2 coats of Flawless. You do need a thicker 2nd coat and probably a thicker 3rd coat as well. Just because after the 1st coat dries, it creates a lot of crevices that you need to fill with polish, so you just have a little bit more area to cover with the coats after the 1st one. And with very textured micro glitters like this, you kind of want to run your hand across, or your finger across the end, and kind of push the texture back so you don't end up with the jagged ends on your nails. So that is 2 coats of Flawless. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a 3rd coat. So here is 3 coats of Flawless. So 3 coats almost completely covers the nail underneath, but you can still see a little bit of darkness where my nail is showing through. So I'm going to end up doing 4. And like I said before, after the 1st coat, you do want to do thicker coats to make sure you cover everything. So there is 3 coats of Flawless. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a 4th coat. So here is 4 coats of Flawless. So this one, on 4 coats, you can still see those dark spots, but I'm not going to do any more. So I think this is definitely opaque enough to give a good textured look, and the darker colors won't show those dark spots as easily because obviously this one is white. So there is 4 coats of Flawless. I'm going to let that dry down to its texture finish because these are meant to be texture polishes. But before I do that, I wanted to show you here on the end of this toothpick I have one of the diamond crystals that I picked out. It's very clear. It just looks like a little piece of salt or almost like a small shard of glass. Some of them are bigger than others, so you will see them pop up on the polish. This one, I mean, is a little more evident right now because I think it has a little white piece of micro glitter on it. Also just dropped it. But that's basically what it looks like, almost like a small grain of salt or a little piece of glass. It's the small diamond crystal. So there is 4 coats of Flawless. So the next polish is Fancy, and this is a light pink matte micro glitter with the same silver shimmer, slight holographic, and diamond crystals running throughout it. So here is 1 coat of Fancy. So the formula on these is pretty good for micro glitter. Usually micro glitters are really thick and goopy and kind of hard to manipulate onto the nail. These are not like that at all. As I turn my finger here, you can see that holographic in the base. So there is 1 coat of Fancy. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a 2nd coat. So here is 2 coats of Fancy. So it looks like this one is starting to get opaque a little bit quicker than the last one did. Again, that might be due to the color. You do need thicker coats after the 1st just to make sure that you can cover the whole nail. These polishes have a nice wide brush on them as well, which makes applying micro glitters like this really easy. So there is 2 coats of Fancy. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a 3rd coat. So here is 3 coats of Fancy. So this one is pretty opaque on 3 coats. It's not completely, because you can still see some dark spots where my nail is peeking through, but it's not enough to need a 3rd. So here is 3 coats of Fancy, dried down to its texture finish. So the next polish is Rarity, and this is a brick red micro glitter with the same diamond crystals, a slight holographic, and silver shimmer. So here is 1 coat of Rarity. This one seems to have the same formulas as the other ones, really easy to work with for a micro glitter. I do think this is my favorite one though, just because the color is so unique for a texture. So there is 1 coat of Rarity. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a 2nd coat. So here is 2 coats of Rarity. So this one actually covers really well on 2 coats if you do a thicker 2nd coat like you need to do for these to cover the whole nail. I think the darker glitter just makes it cover a lot better. I know I can see nail through this 2 coats, but it just looks like it's covered so much better than the other ones. I might leave it at 2. So there is 2 coats of Rarity dried down to its texture finish. I did do a quick 3rd coat on my pointer finger so you guys can see the difference. It looks a little bit darker right now, but I think that might be because it's not completely dry. But it doesn't make a huge difference as far as seeing through it, so I think you could definitely get away with 2 coats on this one. Of course, you could always do 3 if you did want it to be 100% opaque, but this one, there's so much going on in this one between the sparkle and the dark red that I don't think that you'd really be able to pick out any spots on the nail that you could see through the glitter. So the next polish is Precious, and this is a royal blue matte micro glitter in a clear base with the same holographic shimmer, silver shimmer, and diamond crystals. So here is 1 coat of Precious. So while these apply smoothly, they can take a little bit of manipulation to get the micro glitter even on the nail. I did it off camera on my pointer finger just because it was easier to get the right angle that way. But I'll try to mess with this one right here on camera. You really only have to worry about that on the 1st coat because the 2nd coat, the 1st coat already has dried down to a texture finish, so the 2nd coat grabs on a lot easier. So there is 1 coat of Precious. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a 2nd coat. So here is 2 coats of Precious. This one covers pretty well. So there is 2 coats of Precious. I am actually going to leave this one at 2 coats. I think it looks totally fine. It's opaque enough that you can obviously see through the nail, but what you're looking at are darker spots, especially with these darker polishes in the collection. They kind of just look like little extra glitter that's mixed in. It doesn't actually look like you're seeing your bare nail, so I don't think it's necessary to do 3 coats if you don't need it because it can get kind of thick. So yeah, I'm going to call this one good on 2 coats. Again, that is Precious. So the next polish is Priceless. This is a black matte micro glitter with the holographic shimmer, the silver shimmer, and the diamond crystals. This one is going to, the holographic and the silver shimmer are going to pop the best on this one because the black matte glitter is so dark. So here is 1 coat of Priceless. Again, it does take a little bit of manipulation to get the micro glitter to spread evenly across the nail on the 1st coat. The formula still feels really good on these though, not thick at all considering how dense the micro glitter is. So there is 1 coat of Priceless. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a 2nd coat. So here is 2 coats of Priceless. This one covers pretty well on 2 coats. I think you could get away with 2, but I'm going to do 3 just because it is a black micro glitter, so the bare nail poking out stands out a lot more. It's like it's dark if you have a white micro glitter, and it's too light if you have the black to get away with 2 coats. So I'm going to try to cover it completely with 3. So there is 2 coats of Priceless. I'm going to let that dry and come back for a 3rd coat. So here is 3 coats of Priceless. So you can see this covers completely on 3 coats. Again, I know I've said this for everyone, but you do need a thicker coat after the first one just to make sure that the whole nail gets covered. And like I said, these can be used as toppers as well over different base colors. So there is 3 coats of Priceless dried down to its texture finish. And that is the Superchic Lacquer Diamond Heist collection. These are going to take quite a bit of cleanup, especially since you can see it's micro glitter. Micro glitter gets kind of everywhere, and you really are going to want to be careful to take a brush, like this size kind of brush, and go around the edges, or even use a toothpick while it's wet and just kind of push that micro glitter. Let's try this one actually. Just try to push that micro glitter like back into place so that it all looks like it's cohesive. I mean, that's dry, so obviously it's not working. But that will help make these look really, really nice as well, just to make it all look like one polish. You don't have any stray glitters hopping around. So I will link Superchic Lacquer down below so you guys can check these out. They are going to be releasing on February 4th. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later.